Welcome, 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 amazing friends, to this super special quantum healing session, completely free, my gift to you. And this is something that you can use to completely upgrade your life. If you have any health issues, physical health issues, mental health challenges, quantum healing is a fantastic way that you can resolve those very, very quickly. We'll talk more about that later. Some of the benefits can be quite subtle. So I had a mum, for example, who had some trauma and her heart was closed. So she couldn't really fully love her children. In one session, we managed to heal the trauma, and then she was able to love her children more. Her children were grown up, they're in their 30s, but she'd gone through her whole life not really being able to be fully present. And these are some of the things that so many of us experience, and that's my personal experience too. My trauma stopped me from really being authentic. And so that's a great one to dive into. Wherever you're at in your life, you can plug something into this process that you would either love to clear, release, remove, upgrade, or completely heal. And the level to which you receive benefit from these kind of sessions, in my experience, after 7 years of doing this with hundreds and hundreds of people, the level to which you experience the benefit depends on how deep you're willing to go. That's it. Whatever you believe is true. However deeply you're willing to go into this process, you will get the most out of it. So if you can allow yourself to be here fully, get rid of the distractions, the phones, the whatever it is, close down the other tabs, tell your partner or your children not to disturb you for the next 90 minutes or so. And we will drop deeply into this session, which is called Q-RIT. So Q-RIT is a modality which stands for Quantum Regression and Integration Therapy. It's a very conversational type of quantum hypnotherapy. You go super deep. There's no trance state. We're not walking down any staircases. Nobody's eyelids are getting heavy. There's none of that stuff. You don't need to do that anymore. That's old school hypnotherapy. And this can get results for people in minutes. I have literally done a session on someone that was 10 minutes long, and it transformed their life forever. And one of our Q-RIT practitioners, because I teach you how to do this, we have a course, it's all available. Any of you can come and do that. He actually did a whole session on somebody in 8 minutes. And so he's beat my record, which is okay. And I hope if you come and learn it, I hope you can figure out how to transform somebody's life in 8 minutes. Some things take a little longer. Some things there are layers to. Some things can be shifted really quickly. If anybody has ever done hypnotherapy before, NLP before, you'll know hypnotherapy and NLP are very, very powerful tools. You can shift somebody's biggest fear in 15 minutes to 30 minutes. Any good hypnotherapist can do that. Any fear, phobia, bad habits, smoking, overeating, all of those things, you could clear that today if that is what is in your truth. I can see somebody in the chat saying, I'm not sure what to do or what to work on. And that is totally amazing as well. My intention always is to be a vessel for the highest good, and that you get everything that's in your highest good. So I am here to help you, whatever that is. Sometimes we don't know. We don't have a specific thing. Sometimes life is amazing, and we want to take it to an even more amazing level. You don't always have to do sessions when you're feeling low or when there's an issue. You can be proactive. This is what a lot of the most powerful people I know do. I receive roughly 2 sessions a week on myself. And those 2 sessions a week, one is usually something physical, like a massage, some kind of energy work and body work. And one of them is some kind of quantum healing session, Q-RIT session. So I really encourage you to be on top of this. Make it a priority, make health a priority, make it so much easier for yourself to play this game. Don't wait until everything builds up, builds up, builds up. And my best analogy for this is if you get a couple of embers and they start to smoke and they're starting to get a bit fiery, that's the time to put them out. Don't wait until the whole house is on fire and it's a huge inferno. It's not going to work then. You need to call in the big hoses then, right? You need to call in the professionals. So if we can get used to addressing things at the ember stage, because everything has a root cause, everything, and we're going to talk more about that. If you have an ache, a pain, a disease, it has a root cause. Even if that root cause is genetic, there's a place, there's a time where that was created, where it first started. And quantum healing and Q-RIT in particular is a very powerful way for healing that at the root. So I'm going to share my screen now and just share with you a couple of questions and a couple of statements that will absolutely transform your life if you are open to it. And I'll tell you a little bit more about me too, just in case you are wondering who this guy is, who is telling us all about quantum healing. Okay. Amazing. So you should be able to see my screen now. Can you just comment in the chat? Yes. If you can see my slides, it says free quantum regression and integration therapy session. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, amazing. So quantum regression and integration therapy is a specific quantum healing modality that is the most powerful thing I ever learned. I have studied so many different modalities. I studied all different kinds of conventional hypnotherapy, NLP, energy healing, Reiki, theta healing, been doing shamanism. I had my first shamanic teacher in 2016. I've done hundreds of ceremonies of all different kinds. I've done thousands of hours of meditation, been on all different kinds of retreats. And what I'm going to share with you today is the most powerful tool that I've ever learned so far. Not saying it is the most powerful ever. There are many different tools for many different things, but this is the biggest gift I can offer you today. And so this is me. For anybody who doesn't know me, which I know there's some new friends here, I have been on this journey of deep inner work for almost 20 years, but everything changed for me in 2016. I had this big awakening moment in a meditation, completely sober in a meditation. I got this awakening and I was able to access these different states of being, these different states of consciousness. Now, you don't have to put any kind of name on those in particular, but what that started for me was this journey where I realized I could heal, I could help people to heal, and I could create massive transformation for people really quickly. And it set me on a path of going and harnessing and honing these gifts and learning through other great teachers. I've had my own TV show, my own radio shows. I do mentorship and guidance one-on-one, and I've created about 10 different online courses. And Q-RIT is the best course I've ever made. It is fully online. You can do it in your own time. The first level just takes 12 hours, so you can do it within a week easily. And it will give you a tool that you can use on anybody. It's just an 11-step process that I'm going to take you through today. Anyone can do it. We've had master healers, people who've been hypnotherapists for 30 years come and say Q-RIT has totally transformed their life and now it's their main thing they use. And we had a guy, he's called John. He was a bouncer in a nightclub. He's one of the testimonials on our website. He's a bouncer in a nightclub. He came and did our course. He'd never done anything like it before. And now he's a healer. Now he's able to help people to heal. And it's just phenomenal. So wherever you're at, I'd love to invite you to come and join us if you find benefit from this and if you find it interesting. So did you know that there are countless numbers of documented cases of people using quantum and holistic healing techniques to cure, like fully cure physical and mental health issues. And this is where I'm really inviting you to open your heart, open your mind to what is possible. Because you will probably have been told, or your experience might have shown you, that there are things that can't be healed and that things have to take a really long time to heal. And you might want to write this down. Whatever you believe is true. Whatever you believe is true. So I've been and studied and learned from and interviewed so many people who have actually healed themselves from supposedly unhealable things. And I had a client who came to me recently and they asked me, Luke, can we heal from diabetes? Now, I know loads of people who've completely reversed and healed from type 2 diabetes, but this person has type 1 diabetes. Now, I don't know. I didn't know at the time. Can she heal from that? So I asked in our community, has anyone ever healed someone of type 1 diabetes? And loads of people said, yep. It's really easy. It's really easy. It's really easy. Now, what do you get told by doctors? Conventional doctors, you get told it's not possible. Type 2 diabetes, you can heal very, very easily in just a couple of weeks. So what is possible with quantum healing? People heal broken backs. They are in wheelchairs and they can walk. And one of my amazing friends, she had ME. She was bedbound for 8 years. Now, she didn't use this technique. She used a different technique. But within 4 hours, she was completely healed, up and about, walking. She'd been bedbound for 8 years. 4 hours, and her whole life changed. And she now goes, she's actually in her 70s. She goes into care homes and she tells people who are there, like, you're only 65, you're so young, you've got your whole life ahead of you, just heal yourself. It's tremendous. So go and research these things. Don't take my word for it. Go and look at the people who have near-death experiences. Anita Morjani is a great example. She has a book called Dying to Be Me. She completely healed from cancer, stage 4. Loads of people have healed from that. People healing from autoimmune diseases. Depression is usually very fast for people. Anxiety, we have a testimonial on our website. You can just type in on YouTube, Luke Scott anxiety testimonial. Someone with crippling anxiety healed in one session, totally gone. And that wasn't me. That was one of our Q-RIT practitioners who learned this technique and then did it on this person. So I encourage you to open your heart and your mind to this idea that you don't need to go to a doctor for years. You don't need to be in therapy for years if you believe you don't. And if you've ever heard of someone like Dr. Joe Dispenza, and there's loads of other people who do the same thing, people come to their workshops in wheelchairs and they can sit in their sessions for a few days and then they can walk. Nobody touches them physically. So if this is brand new to you, welcome to the world of quantum healing. And if you've already a dab hand at this, you can probably relate and share a lot of your own stories, because I really absolutely am amazed constantly by the results that we get for people. And we're shouting from the rooftops about this. Maybe one of your friends invited you here today and they're just shouting from the rooftops to anyone saying, hey, come on, we can heal the world. We don't have to stay in suffering any longer than we choose to. And did you know that quantum healing and quantum hypnotherapy techniques can actually start to work within minutes to clear, heal, and upgrade issues at the root cause level? Sometimes sessions are 2 hours. I just did a session with a client today. We did a 2-hour session and we went into one of their big issues in their life, which was around acceptance, accepting themselves for who they are, owning their authentic power instead of being a people pleaser and doing what other people want them to do. How important is that in the world? Sometimes we can do a whole session in 10 minutes and the person gets exactly what they need. And I told you someone's record is 8 minutes. So what is possible today? I believe that's up to you. I did one of these free sessions a little while ago, and that's available on my YouTube channel. People can go back and watch it. And I get messages all the time from people saying that they did this one session like we're going to do today, and they healed their biggest trauma. They healed their biggest fear. Like, it's all possible for you today. Totally up to you. No pressure, no expectations. Just enjoy. And we have a question here. Type 2 diabetes. Do you heal that through ancestral healing or with subconscious emotions and with food? There's different ways to do it, but there are so many ways to do it. You can just go speak to any quantum healer. They will help you get to the root cause of why your diabetes is there. Sometimes you have to change your diet. Sometimes you have to heal some emotional stuff. Sometimes it's something from your childhood. And sometimes it is something ancestral because things get passed through your DNA. And when I became a dad, I was so aware of this. I said to my wife, we really need to make sure our DNA is in a good place before we have a baby. Let's do as much clearing as we can. So we went absolutely wild on the clearing, but there's always more layers to it. So yes, any of these industries that really benefit from you being a lifelong customer, I hope we can bring those industries to a conclusion because they don't serve us anymore. And instead we can make quantum healing and holistic healing the mainstream healing in the world. So I'm sharing with you now these 4 quantum statements, and these are some pillars that will help you. You don't need to know these in a lot of detail, but these will help you to have a great experience today. And these are life changers. These are some of the deepest things I can teach you. So I always say, open your heart, open your mind, and allow yourself to receive this. If this is new information for you, just try it on as a possibility. You can go and explore each of these statements for years. You can meditate on it for days, and it will keep deepening and deepening and deepening. I've got some amazing questions here. Can quantum healing help with addictions? Yes, absolutely. Addictions always have a root cause. They are very easy to shift as long as the person who's shifting it is ready to shift it. You can't force somebody to shift. They have to want it. And someone asking, can it help with lifelong heart conditions? I believe so. If you believe that people can heal broken spines, then of course you can heal a broken heart. The question is, and we're going to talk about that now, what is your heart? It's an interesting one. Let's play with this. So the first quantum statement, you might want to write this down, is everything is energy. Now, we are not taught this in school. We are not taught this for some reason, and we can go deep into the conspiracies of that if you want to. But essentially, one of the biggest awakenings I can give to you, if you don't already know this, is you might think that you are solid. You might think that your phone is solid. You might think that when you look at your arm, that is immovable. But if you zoom in on it with a microscope, you will see it is particles just whizzing around. If you zoom in on a rock, it is waves and particles just zooming around. This is quantum physics. I'm a big physics geek. And why is this important? If you think about a broken spine and you think about healing that, it's kind of difficult for a lot of people to imagine bones, hard bones literally healing. But if you can imagine your spine as an energetic thing, if you can imagine it, this waves, these particles instead, if you can change your perspective, it then becomes, okay, I can see how I can play with energy. I can see how I can move things around. And that's where the magic is. If you have some kind of condition with your heart, you could look at that heart and see if it was made of pure energy, what could we play with? How could we shift this? Now, here's the thing. This is ancient wisdom, what I'm telling you now. Shamans have been doing this for thousands of years. Our ancestors used to heal with frequencies. Like, this way we do medicine now is very new. It's only in the last couple of 100 years. And so playing with this, and go research, just type in online who has healed from whatever your thing is with holistic healing. You will see so many cases of people. I love to go and study these things. And yeah, it's amazing. I believe everything is possible. So if you hold your hand in front of your face, just as an experiment, and you close your eyes, just see, can you perceive your hand as an energetic hand instead of a physical one? And this will give you an idea of what it's like to start to play with energy. Now, you don't need to believe anything here. You don't need to be able to visualize anything. It is totally your unique experience, and we all have different levels of sensitivity, and we all have different superpowers. So just try this on as a possibility for now, that everything is energy. Second quantum statement: everything happens for a reason. This was what came to me in 2016 in my meditation, and this was my exact response, because I was not spiritually minded back then. I was closed, my heart was closed because of the trauma. And I got this idea that everything happens for a reason. And my truth was that that's not true. I thought that was just some nonsense that spiritual people say to avoid taking responsibility. And then I meditated on it more deeply. Can I find a reason for everything that's happened? And my life changed in that moment. I started to be able to see why all of the things that ever happened in my life had led me to this point where I was this person who was able to be a public speaker, be on stage, help people to heal. Like, I needed to go through those things because they all taught me how to be a great teacher, a great space holder, an entrepreneur. And now, when anything happens, I'm always looking at, what is the reason for this? Why is this thing showing up right now? And I mean everything. I don't just mean the nice things. I mean everything. And there's this idea that we can take radical responsibility for things. It's not condoning things. It's not saying things are okay, but taking radical responsibility. Why is this thing showing up in my life right now? Why is this thing showing up in my experience? So I'll guide you today, and we'll hopefully be able to get to the root cause of the thing, and then we can shift it. Once you get to the root cause of the thing and you shift it at the energy level. So quantum, for anyone who doesn't know, quantum literally means at the smallest observable particle level. So it's at the energy level. That's basically what it is. So if we can clear things at that level, they go forever. Next quantum statement: everything is a messenger. Everything is a messenger. What does that mean? If you have diabetes, it's a messenger. It's trying to tell you something. If you have back pain right now, it's a messenger. It's trying to tell you something. If you keep attracting toxic relationships, it's a messenger. It's trying to tell you something. Everything in your life is guiding you. And I like to believe, and it's a game to play. And again, just play the game, just soften, just try it on. Is something showing up in my reality? What's the message here? Why is this here? It's a beautiful game to play. Again, just try this on for today. And the final quantum statement I want to share with you is that everything is connected. This is pure quantum physics. This is not any spiritual thing. Q-RIT is a universal technique. You don't need to believe any dogma. You don't need to believe in any kind of particular thing. People from all faiths love Q-RIT, people from all backgrounds. In quantum physics, there is something called quantum entanglement. This has been proven. There's something called the twin photon experiment, if you want to go and look that up. And they have shown that every particle in the cosmos is connected to every other particle by this quantum field. Some people call it the quantum web. And it's a fascinating thing when you see how it works, because when you change something for one particle, it changes for all the other particles it's ever been connected with. And so this idea that right now, every particle in you is connected to every particle in me. They are communicating. You're also connected to every tree. You're also connected to every person, to the ocean, to everything. And the degree to which you allow and deepen that connection is often how it can affect you. So if you have a best friend and they live in another country, you might think of them and they call you. Have you ever had that? Let me know if you've ever had that before. You just think of someone and they call you. And in different faiths and meditation practices, you purposefully send love to your loved ones. You send love to the world. You send love to people who you don't know, right? You send love to situations. And it's this idea that by sending that love out, they will feel it. It will have a benefit. Now, is that true? Is that not true? I can absolutely attest and share from my lived experience, as well as from all the other people who I've helped. When someone sends you love, you know it, if you become sensitive enough. And when someone doesn't send you love, I was just speaking with a client earlier, and when you're in meditation, if you get really still, just take a deep breath into the belly right now and out. That moment of peace and stillfulness that you get, if you harness that, develop that, that can become your default state. Presence. Just try again. Take a deep breath into the belly and out. And when you get really good at meditating and being in this peaceful state, you can start to feel energetically, because you are an energetic being, everything is energy. You can start to feel if people are sending you kind energies or unkind. So I can be sat there, we call this energetic hygiene. I can be sat there in my meditation and I can just feel, oh, there's something not quite right here. And we go and we follow it to the root cause. I can be like, this person's really upset with me. And then we can do a process, a Q-RIT process. Okay, why are they upset? Is there anything for us to clear? Is there anything for us to release? Did I do anything? Do I need to take up responsibility? Do I need to apologize? Can I make peace in this situation? Is it actually not for me to do? Is it just something that I can let go of? There's lots of different reasons why things might show up. So playing with this idea of connection, the session we're about to do right now, it works because wherever you are in the world, we are all connected. It works in real time. I have clients in America, clients in Australia. I say the thing, they get the result. And this is one of the beautiful benefits of doing things online as well. We can help people all over the world. So I hope that's given you some things to ponder and open around. We are going to get started with the session, and all you need to do for this session is be honest with yourself. Trust that you know what to do. Trust that your body, your being, the cosmos, whatever you believe in, it knows what to do. It knows the best things to show you. It knows the best way for you to receive it. Every single person has different gifts and abilities and sensitivities. So the way I'll share the process today is a way that any of you can receive. If you do find you get into your head, that might prevent you from getting the full experience. So anytime you see and observe too many thoughts, just try this little practice. Just take a deep breath into the belly and out. There's a great book. It talks about how we have this monkey mind. It's called the chimp paradox. And it says our monkey mind can only do one thing at once. So if you are giving a command like take a deep breath into the belly and out, then it is impossible for you to have thoughts at the same time. This is why a lot of practices get you to focus on the breath, but you don't really need to focus on the breath because we want you just to be open and present. So we'll be probably in this process for around 30 minutes. And then afterwards, we'll have some time to chat. And I'll share with you some more details about Q-RIT if you want to come and join and learn more about the modality. And we should be wrapped up here in around about an hour's time. I'm sharing that with you just so you can feel safe and relaxed. You don't feel any pressure. If you do become a practitioner and you start holding space for people, it's really important to make sure that people feel safe. And I'd love to remind you, if you don't already remember, that your brain is the most powerful pharmacy in the world. That your brain can produce all of the amazing chemicals that you need to be happy and thriving. And the way, or one of the ways you can trigger the brain is by using your imagination. So the brain and the body, they do not know the difference between something that you vividly imagine and something that's really happening. And if you've ever had a nightmare where you wake up and you're shaking and you're sweating, it's because you don't know. Your body doesn't know that it was a dream, right? It feels real. So we can use that mechanism today. I don't know exactly what will show up for you. I don't know exactly what the root causes of your issue. And it might feel at times like this is really weird. And it might feel at times like this is really beautiful. And sometimes you might have to go into something that's uncomfortable and unpleasant. And sometimes it might just be absolutely amazing. So being with whatever is, you might need to have some courage if we have to go through some kind of fear or something like that. Sometimes people don't. And you might just have the most blissful, beautiful experience too. So I invite you now, get nice and comfortable in your chair, on the seat, wherever you are. Get nice and comfortable. If you can, and if you feel safe to, close down the eyes. When our eyes are open, we can get a lot of distractions in through the eyes. So closing down the eyes can be a really beautiful way to focus on your own energy. And just focusing on those deep breaths into the belly and out. And an invitation for you, and everything today is an invitation. Please do trust your own wisdom. You know what you need. Your body, your being knows what you need. I'll guide you as best I can in the most aligned way that I know how to do. I'll be guided. I'll trust that I'll say the perfect things at the perfect time. These sessions are always wonderful. We always leave feeling incredible as well. So setting the intention that you get everything that's in your highest good, everything that's in the highest good of all, that you have the courage and the bravery to follow through with the process, honoring all of the incredible and challenging experiences that you've had to bring you to this now point. Remembering how powerful you are. And so an invitation to feel what it feels like to be really grounded. Perhaps you feel the weight of your body on the floor or the chair. Perhaps you breathe deeply into the belly and feel what it really feels like to be in your body. Just breathing, softening and relaxing. Setting your intention now for what you'd love to play with today, what you'd love to upgrade today. There's one thing, one part of your life, one area you would love to make even more amazing, what would that be? And just holding that intention. And letting go of any particular way that we might get a resolution to it. We're not going to use our logical mind. Our brain is beautiful, but it's not the thing we need to use right now. Letting go of that. Trusting our body's wisdom, trusting our energy, remembering those quantum statements that everything is energy, that whatever this thing is, this situation, this challenge, it's here for a reason. It has a message for us. It is connected to something, and once we clear that at the root, we can transform it with love, release it, transmute it in the perfect way. So as you focus loosely on this situation or challenge or area you would love to play with today, just notice how you feel in your body. What kind of feeling does this bring up for you? And where is that feeling? If it was to live in your body somewhere, where would it live? And we're just playing here, playing with energy, playing with our imagination. So just trust the first thing that comes up. Where does this feeling live? And once you have that feeling, what a lot of people do when they have feelings is they just push them away. They don't ever listen to them. And the feeling, the energy, it stays until we receive the message. Oftentimes in physics, we know that energy is never created or destroyed, it's only transferred. And so if we just push the energy down, where does it go? And so for today, I just encourage you to just be with it, not trying to change it, not trying to make any meanings out of it, but just sit with it for a moment and perhaps see if this energy or feeling was to have a color, what color would it be? Again, trusting the first thing, imagining your body, your being as an energy being, if you're able to do that. Some people get more of a feeling, some people get more of a knowingness. And if it was to have some kind of shape or texture, what would it look like? How would you picture this feeling or situation? So now we have a color and some kind of shape or texture. If it was to have an intensity, with 10 being the most intense, how intense does it feel right now, that particular feeling, that particular shape, that particular color? And now I invite you just to bring your consciousness, bring your awareness to that place and just be with that energy just for a few moments, acknowledging it, just sitting with that feeling. Amazing. And now I would love for you to use the power of your imagination and imagine, however you do that, the perfect way for you. Imagine or feel what it would be like to be surrounded in a bubble of just the most beautiful love energy that you've ever felt. Imagine your entire room is filled with this love energy. If it was to have a color, what would that be? Maybe it has a feeling or a texture. How does love feel to you? And different people are able to perceive love at different sensitivities. So again, no putting any pressure on yourself. Just be with that, however that is. And then see as you breathe in, you can breathe in this love. Set the intention that you breathe in love into your body. With every breath you take, you fill yourself up with more and more of this love coming from the purest place. If you can perceive a color, maybe you see yourself being filled up with that color. Maybe you can feel it moving around your body, going down the left-hand side and up the right-hand side. Just allowing yourself to feel what that feels like, to be filled with love. Remembering then our beautiful brain will start to actually trigger those chemical reactions. It will create a different reaction in our being. And then if you're able to, and it feels right to, you could just imagine where this area is, where your sensation, where your challenge resides that we spotted earlier. Imagine that gets surrounded by this love energy. And as it's completely surrounded by this love energy, see that the love just starts to change it, starts to shift it, starts to soften it. And perhaps this love helps it to transform from whatever shape it was to a more smokier kind of substance that we can play with. Maybe it vibrates and disintegrates into little tiny particles until it turns into a smoke. However it works for you is perfect. And now see that as you breathe in more of this love, we're going to imagine and use our consciousness that this love energy now washes away some of that smoke, and we can breathe it out in front of us. So as you breathe in this love energy, see it now washes away some of that feeling that we had from earlier, and you breathe that all out and just perceive it gathers in front of you in this big cloud of smoke, whatever color it is, whatever feeling it was. And every breath we take, we breathe in more love. We wash away a bit more of this energy and we breathe it out. So we're finding a way to take it out of our body and bring it outside of us, however you perceive to do that. There are many, many different ways. And see now, after you take 3 more deep breaths, that every last trace of that smoke energy will be gone from your body and all will be gathered in front of you in this big cloud. The 3 deep breaths. Allow yourself to get every last part of that out of your body, trusting it will happen in the perfect way. And once you can feel like that has happened, I now invite you to take 1 more deep breath of this beautiful love energy. And now on the out breath, blow away that smoke, just blow it away. See that it will be transmuted into love, sent to the highest and best place for it at this time. Just blow that thing away, blow that smoke away. It will be gone forever. And as the smoke is completely cleared, I want you to see that there's a figure standing there. Who is it? What can you see? And once you perceive some kind of figure, once you can see someone, something, however it looks for you, again, trusting it's the perfect thing, start to hone in on what's their energy like, what's their vibe like. Some people are very, very good and it's super easy for them at doing this, at using their imagination. Some people, it works slightly differently. So wherever you're at with this, perhaps you can just use your inner knowing to focus on this energy that might be here after the smoke is cleared. If there is no energy, that's totally amazing too. And the idea here is we are going to now interact with this energy if that feels right for you. I'm just going to ask it, why are you here? What is your message? And trust the first thing that comes up. It's always the first thing. So why are you here? What is your message? Just allow that to come through. And it might make total sense or it might make no sense. We don't have to necessarily put our logic filter on it. And this is a part of the game where we can just start to have a 2-way conversation with this. So imagine we're having a 2-way conversation now with our subconscious mind, with our energy. So we've just cleared this thing, and now this figure, sensation, thing is here, however it shows up perfectly for you. Why is it here? What does it want to show you? Sometimes you might get shown a vision really clearly, just like a movie. Sometimes you get more of a knowingness. Why is this thing showing up today? And it's a bit like being a detective, just going to play around with it, not being too attached to whatever the thing is. Sometimes it can be really beautiful, like I said, and sometimes it can be more challenging. So allow yourself now, imagine you can go into this energy and ask to be shown the root of why this thing is here. Some of you might get shown a scene really clearly, just like a movie, where you can see and hear and taste and touch everything as if it's happening right now. Some of you might hear the answer. Some of you might get a feeling or a knowingness. Has to be shown the root of why this is here. And I'll just allow you now to have your own journey with this, remembering to just be with whatever it is. Maybe it plays out just like a movie, and you're an observer. You are able to see it from this bigger perspective of how this thing happened that might have now created this situation. Could be something from your lifetime, your childhood, could be something from your ancestral line, or it could be something completely different. Sometimes it can get really weird and wonderful in these sessions. So just allowing yourself now to be with that process. Know that you can ask for as much detail as you need around these situations. You are in control. It is your experience. Everything that shows up is here to help you and benefit you. Even if it might be uncomfortable, sometimes that's where the biggest treasure lives, in the depths. And as we now start to bring this part of the process towards a close, I'm going to invite you to take a deep breath into your belly and out. And just ask, is there anything else that you would like to show me or let me know before I release you and let you go? What comes through? And one of the key things we always look to do in these sessions is we want to transmute any energies that are lower than love. We want to transmute any energies that no longer serve us, so we can be in our most authentic power. And so however this energy showed up today, or whatever came through for you, I'm going to offer you some words now. And you can say these words out loud. You can say them in your mind. However you choose to do it, it's totally up to you. Again, everything is an invitation. Follow your guidance if you feel to do it slightly differently. So firstly, connecting into yourself, into your body, being grounded, deep breath into the belly and out. And connecting into your highest self, whatever you like to call that. This aspect of you that is beyond the body, this aspect of you that is super conscious. Or whoever or whatever you believe creates everything. I like to call it the energy that creates everything sometimes. There's many names. And so the first word I'd love to invite you to say is thank you. And just repeat after me. So thank you for releasing, removing, and clearing anything that no longer serves me around this situation. Thank you for clearing this across all dimensions, all timelines, all versions of reality, and in all directions of space and time, from now to the beginning of creation and beyond. Thank you for clearing this down into my cellular level and into my DNA structure. And take a moment to feel what that feels like. You might perceive these energetic cords being transmuted, dissolving. You might see scrolls or stone tablets around you, contracts that no longer serve you being evaporated, oaths or agreements or decisions that you've made. Just breathing, softening and relaxing. And you might like to bring in that love energy. Might like to feel what that feels like again and breathe more of that into your beingness as you let go of any things that no longer serve you. This can be an interesting process. You might feel your spine literally getting straighter. You might feel things inside your body clicking into alignment. You might feel your brain literally rewiring itself. If you have something called neuroplasticity, your brain and your nervous system, when you work at this energetic level, they can literally rewire themselves. Your nervous system can let go of trauma. It doesn't have to hold it anymore. You can reprogram your subconscious mind so it flows in a more positive and empowering way. So breathing, softening, relaxing, and enjoying this. And now I'd love to invite you, now we've released and let go of those things, to replace them with something. So if you were to tune in now to a version of you that has completely upgraded this situation that you wanted to call in today, perhaps you could imagine that version of you in front of you now, what they would look like or feel like, that version of you who's living fully in their authentic power. Perhaps you can see a vision of them in the future and how they navigate the world, or perhaps it's this inner knowingness. I invite you now to breathe in what that feels like to be that upgraded version of you. And if this feels like a version of you you would love to align with, just ask your body, ask your cells, ask your DNA to remember this feeling. What we're doing here is we're literally recoding our cells, we're recoding our DNA. You can use the power of your consciousness to do this every day in your meditation practice. This is what Joe Dispenza did to heal his broken spine. He just imagined what it felt like for his spine to heal vertebrae by vertebrae, and then his spine completely healed without any surgeries. This is how people heal from all sorts of diseases. Imagine what it feels like and breathe that into your being to be fully in your power now, whatever that looks like, your optimal configuration. And just enjoy that for a few moments. And if you feel to, you can even have a conversation with this aspect of you. You could ask them, is there anything for you to shift? Are there any aligned actions that you can take so that you can step more fully into your power? What would that be? And trust the first thing that comes through, always the first thing. What's the first thing that comes through? An aligned action that you can take. You might get multiple. You could write them down if you felt to. What did that version of you figure out? Or did they shift? Is there something you can do differently? Different way you can be or create? Is there an area of your life to improve? Take this time now to ask from this higher state of consciousness what those action steps for you could be. And you can ask for as much detail here as you like. You could do this process again, and you could literally pause here and write for hours. You could write a whole book on this. You could maybe just get bullet points. Maybe you already know. Everybody's different again. What are the steps for you to get to your next level? And now, as we start to bring this process towards a close, I invite you to thank whoever or whatever you believe in for this process, whoever or whatever you believe in for this life. Thank yourself for showing up here today and being brave enough to try something. Thank yourself for getting to this place in your life where you're open enough to receive this kind of information. That's a big thing. Don't underestimate how incredible you are. And as you breathe that power into your body and your being, that remembering of how incredibly beautiful and wonderful you are, how you light up the world every day just by being. I invite you to feel what it feels like to be really grounded and connected. Perhaps now bringing back in that beautiful love energy, filling up your entire space, asking and commanding that anything that no longer serves you is released from your room, transmuted into love. Perhaps you can feel this energy coming and showering your body. Maybe you can see what it would feel like to shower your energy body. Maybe there are some parts in your energy field that could just do with a good cleanse, however you perceive that. We call this energetic hygiene, letting go of the cords, letting go of the thoughts, the things that no longer serve us. And when you're ready, you can have a nice big stretch. Take a deep breath. Open your eyes, and I invite you to take a few moments to journal down anything that came up for you that you feel is relevant. You can see some people in the comments have been sharing that you've done some similar things in the past. Amazing. Yeah, this is a combination of so many different modalities, ancient wisdom, thousands of years old wisdom. And there are loads of different techniques and quantum healing ways to do this. And what you just experienced is a very basic version of Q-RIT. There is an advanced version which goes a whole load deeper. And if you do book some Q-RIT sessions with any of our Q-RIT practitioners, we have hundreds of Q-RIT practitioners all over the world. When they are working one-on-one with you, it's obviously a different experience than when you're doing a group session. In the group session, I keep it very generic and open to interpretation. And yeah, if you would love to do some one-on-one sessions, you can reach out as well to myself or whoever invited you, if you were invited by a friend. So maybe another 30 seconds just to journal down or write down. I would really focus on these aligned action steps. This is the integration part of Q-RIT. Someone sharing here, I had a deep release of grief. So much came through that I had been denying. Yeah, grief is a big one. Grief is an absolutely massive one in our world. We're not given any tools on how to process it. We're just expected to figure it out, but we could teach this in schools. It's a big part of our mission. I do teach this to children. We have lots of children who are using this process and a variation of it. I get my 3-year-old daughter to do this when she has feelings that she doesn't know what to do with. We do a Q-RIT process. She's 3, she can figure it out. And yeah, I'd love to hear if you have anything you'd love to share. That was a random noise that just came through. If there's anything you'd love to share, I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about what came up, and particularly this word called integration. This is one of the big differences with Q-RIT compared to any other modality that I've ever studied. So I've done hypnotherapy, I've done Reiki, I've done all different kinds of modalities. They have never done a single module on integration. How do you take the lessons that you have and actually use them? Because if you ever go and do ceremonies in the jungle, like you hear these people who have these amazing experiences, you can do that in meditation, by the way. You don't have to take any medicines, or there's so many different ways to get to the same thing. You can use breath work to have a similar experience, and you can get these transcendental experiences where you can be the oneness. You can see so clearly why the whole world is how it is. And then how do you come back and be a human? How do you come back and actually be in the world with this expanded consciousness? And hopefully one day we'll all have expanded consciousness, and we'll live in some kind of communities, or we'll be in supportive communities, at least online or in person, where we can hold each other after ceremony and after these things. Someone sharing here, big release of being scared as a child. Oh, amazing. So great. Yeah, these feelings. I've got my little 3-year-old and my 1-year-old downstairs, and we see how their family members who are maybe less conscious and are just in a different place, they try and instill these fear programs in our children. And so I then go and unprogram it, right? Because they're just trying to help. So there's a great one where I go out barefoot in the garden. It's called Earthing. If you've never looked into Earthing, go look at the Earthing documentary. It's on YouTube, it's everywhere. And just by putting your bare feet on the earth, you have this energetic exchange with the earth. It literally reduces inflammation, helps you to sleep better. This isn't spiritual, this is science. And so we were just out today in the mud, splashing in muddy puddles barefoot, 1-year-old. And it was my daughter's first time in muddy puddles at 1-year-old today. It's quite cold outside, you know, it's early springtime here at the time of recording this. And some of her family members think that going out in the cold makes you, it's a bad thing. I don't even want to say the words. I believe going out in the cold makes you strong. I believe that we should encourage children to go out in all elements, and it goes against their belief system because they want to stay wrapped up warm in a central heated house. But that's not natural. We're one of the first generations who's had central heating all of the time, right? So I have these expanded ideas, and then how do we integrate them in a way? And this is always my intention that I'd love to offer you for today. Take a deep breath into the belly and out, and ask that you integrate these energies in the most easeful, graceful, and beautiful way possible. Ask that you can integrate these new energies in the most easeful, graceful, and beautiful way possible. And I really encourage you to be with that feeling you had, that version of you who's already done it, however that is. Even if you just think that's imagined, or if you do believe it's real, it makes no difference, because when you're in that state, you start to command your cells to act differently. You start to command different neurons in your brain to connect up, and it literally changes your whole beingness. So at the start of your day, connecting with that version of you, even if it's just for 5 minutes, take some time to journal down, what are the aligned actions I can take today? A lot of the time with our physical health issues, we just need to shift our diet. We just need to shift some toxins in our home. We just need to go to this one person who can help us, who can do one session and it transforms. Sometimes we have to go and heal trauma from our childhood. Sometimes it's ancestral. And a lot of people don't understand. And this is one of the big things we talk about in Q-RIT. We talk a lot about our DNA and the information that's passed through our DNA, and how we can activate our DNA using something called epigenetics, which is an amazing field of study. So there are certain epigenetical things that you can do that can literally heal you, upgrade you, and it just takes minor shifts. I'll read some more comments. Thank you all so much. People saying cold immersion. Yeah, amazing. Cold immersion is an interesting one. Some people love it and some people don't. There's proof on both sides that it's amazing, and some people believe it's really not. Someone's saying I'm an energy treatment practitioner, professional Reiki, angel therapy practitioner. Amazing. Yeah, we get loads of Reiki masters who come and do Q-RIT and they absolutely love it. We have loads of master hypnotherapists who come and they absolutely love it. And they end up making Q-RIT their main modality. Not because I'm saying Q-RIT is better than any of those things, but it's so fast and it's so direct. And when I go and do a ceremony, whether that's with medicine or not with medicine, you can have sound ceremonies, you can have drum ceremonies, you can do all different kinds. It's often not as laser focused as I might like it to be. With Q-RIT, we go straight to the root of what that thing is and we clear it. When I channeled this idea for Q-RIT, I was actually in India. I wrote a book in India and I was in this little village in the Himalayan mountains and I channeled it, told me create this modality. And the slogan it gave me was, whatever is happening in your life, we can cure it with Q-RIT. And I just loved that. Somebody saying my issue is a hormonal imbalance. Yeah, amazing. So like change your brain chemistry, change the way that your hormones are, change the organs that are struggling. There is this great scientific discovery breakthrough in the 1990s. Now, I don't particularly like the methods that they use to find this because it involves animal testing, but you know, they did it and it was a long time ago. So they used rats and they found that they could make rats regenerate their pancreas by transmitting to them the energy of a healthy pancreas. So if a rat had a failing pancreas, they could transmit through a laser beam the energy of a healthy pancreas, and then the rat's pancreas regenerated. Pancreases are not thought to be regenerative organs. Like a liver can regenerate, people know that, but supposedly your pancreas can't. But that was in the 1990s. That's like decades and decades ago. We know that we can regenerate our organs by transmitting health to them. So when someone does energy healing, when someone transmits love to you, when someone transmits perfect health, when you sit in meditation and you feel what it feels like for your organs to be healthy, for your spine to be healed, that's not a small thing you're doing. Someone's sharing a quote here. I love this quote. I no longer call myself a doctor because people used to come to me thinking I would heal them, but I don't heal them. My belief that we are all guardians who witness each other's healing. Yeah, I love that. That's cool. I think my experience is there is some kind of intelligence, whatever you call that, super conscious that turns an apple seed into an apple tree and makes an apple tree produce apples every year. Like that energy, whatever you call that, knows how to get you to perfect health, but you just have to get out of your own way. And there's a teacher who shares that most people wake up and if you imagine it's a stream of consciousness, they wake up and they start paddling upstream all day and they just exhaust themselves. It's like, just stop paddling, allow yourself to go with the stream. So this is where the aligned actions piece comes in. So I'm going to share with you now how you can get involved in Q-RIT. I'm going to share with you how you can get unlimited Q-RIT sessions for life. For just £222, as many one-on-one Q-RIT sessions as you want for life. Basically, therapy for life for £222. I know that might sound absolutely crazy, but that is what we do with Q-RIT. So if you're open to it now, I'll share with you how you can come be a part of our community. So let me know in the chat if you can see my screen again. It should say Q-RIT at the top. Just maybe drop a yes in the chat if you can see that. And the invitation is for you to come and join our Q-RIT tribe. So we are a beautiful bunch of weirdos. We are totally unique beings that love to play together and we love to help each other. So Q-RIT is a course. It is also a community and we do sessions on each other to upgrade each other. So how does it work? Q-RIT is fully recorded. It's totally online. It was a 2-day event that we ran and we recorded. You can do this in your own time. It's 12 hours of content. That's it. So it was a 2-day event. So you could do it in 2 days. And then that gives you all of the information. And then you need to go and practice. So you practice with the other practitioners until you get confident enough to graduate. Then you are an official graduate and you can then go and do Q-RIT sessions with clients, and you can create a side income with that if you want to, or a full-time income. You could become a full-time healer if you wanted to be a full-time quantum regression practitioner. Once you have your certification, you can then do sessions with people anywhere, anytime, fully online. And one of the best parts is you get to be a part of our training group, our private training group, to ask any questions, but to arrange unlimited session swaps with the other graduates. So the other practitioners, remember, a lot of them are already really experienced and some of them are brand new. We did a survey of our people, and 15% of the people in the group have never done any other modality before. 85% of people are already trained in some modalities, and 65% of people are trained in 4 or more modalities. So if you've learned 4 different modalities, I think you're quite adept by that stage. So come and join us. And I also do have trainings. We get guest speakers. We have a guest speaker tomorrow. Every Wednesday we get guest trainers to come in, and we teach around business, how you can grow a business. We teach around breath work, meditation, all different tools that can help you upgrade your life. And the whole level 1 course is just £222, and that is for lifetime access. So if that sounds exciting to you, you can just reach out to whoever invited you here. If that was me, we can send you a link, and that will then take you straight to the page where you can come and join and totally transform your life. We do have payment options available as well. So never let money be a reason for you not to do something that's in your highest good. There's always a way. Like if you feel the pull to come and learn Q-RIT, if you feel the pull to come and get this skill that then you can use for your whole life. You can use this skill on children, you can use it on your friends, or you can use it with clients. And if you already are doing some kind of therapy, if you already do sessions, you'll know that that adds up over time. It gets expensive. So by being a part of Q-RIT, you might save yourself a lot of money on all the other sessions that you're doing. I do still do lots of other sessions from lots of other modalities. I'm a big geek. I love to learn different ways. Everybody has so many different quantum healing modalities right now. But the big benefit of Q-RIT is 12 hours and you've learned it. And a lot of them take a long, long time. You can practice for as long as you need to until you feel confident. We don't have to make things overcomplicated. It's one of my superpowers to make things really simple for people. I'm a master teacher, been teaching people for almost 20 years. So there are 3 options if you are feeling to come and join Q-RIT. There is the level 1 certification for £222. That is really similar to what I just guided you through. I did use a couple of advanced pieces in that, but it's an 11-step process. There are no scripts. We don't need scripts anymore. That's old school. We teach you these 11 steps that you then, once you've got those 11 steps down, you can just do the process again and again and again. And they are so different every time. After almost 8 years now running these processes, the one I did today was completely different to any one I've ever done before. And the one I did with my client earlier today, totally different. We have an advanced level 2 certification, and that's £333. In the level 2, I teach you 4 new advanced techniques. We teach you how to transcend time. So past lifetimes, future lifetimes, different timelines. Again, you don't need to believe in any of that, but just try them, see what happens. It's phenomenal. We teach about inner child reparenting and reprogramming. We teach you a hands-on energy modality, which is called the Divine DNA Blueprint. And this is a super fast way to help people to, just like that rat with the pancreas that we talked about, to heal and upgrade. And we also teach this super fast method. You can do a session on people in 15 minutes. So my typical sessions with clients are 2 hours, and I'll go through several different things. But some people are doing 1 hour sessions, some people are doing 30 minutes, and sometimes you only need less than that. We also have our Master Practitioner course. So if you would love to become a Q-RIT Master, you can then be a Master Teacher, and you can initiate people into Q-RIT Level 1 and Level 2. and that's £888. If you take the Master Teacher package for £888, you get the other 2 levels included in that. So all 3 levels for £888. And if you've ever looked at Reiki Masters before, or Hypnotherapy Masters, or NLP Masters, it's a similar model. You become a Master Teacher, and then you can teach and you can certify people. So again, that's a great way to create an extra income for yourself. A lot of Reiki Masters actually make their money mostly from teaching rather than from doing sessions. And it's the same with Hypnotherapy Masters. It's also really fun. You become such a more powerful person when you become a Master Teacher. And what we do that's different to any other modality as well, because I've studied so many, I've never had this before. We actually teach you how to teach. So we have a course on public speaking in the Master Teacher training. We have a course on space holding. We teach you how to make your own online courses. We teach you all these different things. And when you go and do other courses, you don't really get that. You get a big book that tells you all the information, and then you have to go and figure out how to be a great teacher. And I've had some challenging experiences where these masters have not actually been very good teachers. So this is a big part of our mission with Q-RIT. We want to make quantum healing the mainstream healing ASAP. We have a goal to get 1 million Q-RIT practitioners by 2027. So we'll see how this video ages. Let me know if you're watching this in 2027, if we got those 1 million. There are roughly 4 million Reiki practitioners on the earth right now. So we know we can get to 1 million easily, and then we can help people to transform their lives. If you're already a Reiki master, hypnotherapy master, NLP master, this will just be perfect for you. There is a deal as well. If you don't really want to do the Master Teacher training, you can get level 1 and level 2 both together for £444. So you save £111. You can probably see I love my master numbers. So I love these numbers. It's always been something since I had my awakening. I just spot these kind of numbers all over the place. And yeah, again, reach out to whoever invited you if you would like the link, if you haven't already got it, and you can just join. Super easy. You can also ask any more questions if you have any, and please do ask in the chat, in the comments, if you've got any questions. If you join the Q-RIT Masters package, you also get included for £888 a 12-month group coaching container with me. So I will do everything in my power to help you become an amazing Q-RIT master, to teach, to create an online course where you can then put on our website, and then you can make money while you sleep, because people can buy your online course just like I've done. People can buy your online course. You don't have to then be trading your time for money. This is where a lot of Reiki masters and different things are stuck, because they're constantly trading their time for money, and that doesn't give you real freedom, which is more challenging. Even if you're a brain surgeon and you're making 150,000 a year, what happens if you don't work for a year? You know, the money dries up, right? So we teach you how to create courses and other streams of ways that you can reach more people without it always needing you to be there physically. But you can also do them physically too, because I love doing physical events. It's really fun. So question for you: are you ready to step powerfully into the next chapter of your life? If that is a big yes, then however you decide to do that, I wish you the most incredible next part of your journey. If you do feel to come and join the Q-RIT tribe, we'd absolutely love to have you there. You will know in your heart, in your being, if this is a right step for you. If you don't resonate, that's totally cool as well. And maybe you'll just take something from today. Maybe you've had the shift, or maybe you know that you want to go deeper. And maybe you just know someone who could benefit from this. Maybe you can refer someone to us. Maybe you can invite them. Please do let them know about this free session. I run free sessions often. I also have loads on my YouTube channel. You can reach out again to whoever invited you, and they can send you a link to some of the recorded ones. And you can pass those on to your community, your friends, your family, anyone who you think is open to it. So I'll just check the comments. Amazing. Someone saying a big yes. I love it. Thank you. Someone saying I already enrolled. Amazing. And someone saying fabulous. I'm looking forward to joining the Masters. Yes. We do have a recorded version of the Masters. We have a live version of the Masters as well. So you can do level 2 is fully recorded. That's a 4-week course. The Q-RIT level 2 you can do in your own time. And the Masters is also recorded, or you can do the Masters live if you line up the timings. If you join now, at the time of recording this, we do have a live Masters coming up. If you're watching this on the recording in the future, you'll just have to check our timetable. So I'm going to end the recording now and then open up to any questions that you might have. If you are watching this on the recording, anybody, please get in touch with myself, whoever invited you, or write in the comments, and we will aim to answer your questions as soon as we possibly can.